Happy New Year. So happy to be here with you.
We haven't talked to you since last year.
All right, so we do.
How are you? Are things okay?
We hope they are. We hope last year was spectacular, and we hope you're looking forward to an amazing year the way we are as well. Today, we just wanted to come in and talk about 5 cooks that we think everybody should know if you're new to griddle cooking, but also talk about some of our favorites from last year. You want to stick around with us and talk about some of the best griddle cooks there are? Stick around while we dig in.
I can't believe the WALTWINS. They're right there. That's one of them. That's the other one.
I'm the other one.
So Brett, 2023 came to an end.
What a year.
Some ups, some downs,
Yep.
some ups
Mostly
and some
ups.
downs.
Mostly
ups.
Yes.
You know, a lot of sickness, you know, trying to get over sicknesses.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Feeling better,
Jeez.
but guess what?
Yep.
There was a lot of cooking and a lot of good food to be had.
Yes, good mood food, food for the soul. It was so good.
So what we wanted to do today is a little bit different. Every year we kind of do this year in review, what we liked, what we didn't. This year what we thought is, you know, we have a lot of people who are new to griddle cooking and might be looking for, hey, what are some really good cooks that everybody should know, or griddle cooks that you should do. So we wanted to talk not about specific videos like we've done in years past.
Correct.
But specific cooks that we look. And Brett, the first we got to say, one that we thought was kind of a taboo, but has become our absolute favorite way to cook.
Steak, yes. Oh my gosh, from the tomahawk to the filet to just a simple ribeye.
Yes. I'm just kidding.
We have made the best steaks that we have ever eaten on our griddle.
Yeah, and you know, it helps when you partner with somebody like Jason Benson of Benson Farms, getting us some of these goods with the tomahawk and these fillets that we did just a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
and were some of the best we've ever had.
Those fillets were hand down. I still think about how juicy it was. In fact, the other day I pulled the video up just to watch it because it was so much fun. It was so delicious.
And so if you haven't done it yet, you do need to do steaks on the griddle. Try it. See how it is. And we've got a lot of different techniques. We always recommend starting on the griddle on a setting hot, super high in butter. Get those going. A lot of salt and pepper. That's all we really use for this. Maybe a little bit of garlic or garlic butter if you like.
Correct.
But get those for both sides and then pull it onto the cooler side, warm side.
Yeah, so it's basically medium on one side and scalding hot on the first side.
And we didn't tell you for how long because it's going to depend on how thick your steak is. But again, we have videos, and we'll link those all in the description below of the different techniques that we used for, to us, some of the best steaks we've ever had.
Yep, exactly.
And going from the steaks, you know, we did a lot of new varieties to us of fried rice. Probably my personal favorite cooking was unfortunately not with you, my guy.
Well, I mean, your backdrop was pretty darn nice. Hawaii.
When we had the chance to go to Hawaii, and my brother-in-law, Scott, who owns this mini putt-putt,
very fun.
He smokes his own pork and sells it there at his course. And of course, he allowed us to use some of it for this fried rice.
We did get him a Pit Boss Sierra.
We did get him a Pit Boss griddle.
Christen it.
And we did have to christen it and break it in. So that was an amazing. And Brett, that turkey fried rice we did after Thanksgiving
turkey fried rice
was amazing.
That was surprisingly
blew me away.
Yes.
It was also our first time using the Kinder's sauce.
Yep, correct.
So a lot of different ways.
Barbecue.
Right. Sorry, didn't catch up.
Good.
A lot of different ways to do fried rices. My biggest takeaway this year, aside from years past, we've always used that same vegetable medley in years past for it. I like going away. I liked the way the celery tasted in the turkey.
That was surprising, yes.
And with keeping it simple, other than that, we just did carrots, right? Carrots. So it was simpler vegetables, but there's a lot of different ways to do fried rice, and we think you got to give it a try. And I would say, if you can have eggs, to me, eggs belong in fried rice.
100%.
Somebody tried to pick us apart on that, and I thought that was the silliest thing, because every fried rice I've ever had has eggs in it.
Yeah, that's the first thing they cook when you go to a Japanese steakhouse. So, and then also I did the tofu fried rice,
which was the weird fried rice.
It tastes like egg fried rice. It was surprisingly good. I didn't know what to think going into it, but well pleased. Will I do it again? Yeah, maybe for another video, but the family's not asking for it, you know?
Right. So you got to be doing steaks on the griddle.
Yep.
You got to be doing some fried rices.
Fried rices, yes.
All right.
Japanese, Asian cooks, but fried rice is a must.
And last year we went international. Feels like that's what we're doing again. We're going from the fried rice. We're getting into some of our street tacos, or some of our Mexican dishes as a whole.
So there you go.
The tacos, though, our chicken street tacos are some of our absolute favorite.
Yep.
And every time we serve them up, they are a crowd favorite. We love flavors, everything. that goes into it.
It's easy to make a ton of them.
But not just these. I mean, we did the birria style tacos.
The birria, oh my gosh,
which were spectacular. And then on top of that, we did the carnitas with the West Coast shake,
West Coast shake, CJ.
Right.
Man, cooking with CJ's shake, it is so good.
Made that one totally stand out in my mind.
Yep.
You know, when we were prepping for this, you know, that's what this came down to. And we do almost 160, 170 videos.
Yep.
And of those, and aside from the regular cooks that we do.
Correct, yeah.
And so these are the ones that stick out the most to us. So these are the ones we're sharing. And again, those will all be linked below, but these are things that we really think that you ought to try.
Yep.
You know, Brett, we're kind of going over, and I forgot to mention one that when we were talking about this, but I mentioned it yesterday because we talked about, is there any breakfast ones? When we did that big diner burrito,
come on.
That was next level because you've got your pancakes in there. You've got your bacon, you've got your eggs, you've got your sausage, you've got cheese. All wrapped up in that huge.
It's everything you want for
tortilla.
Breakfast, just wrapped in a big tortilla, and it was baller. Even though mine broke a little bit, it was good.
It was baller. That's a good way of putting it.
It was so good, so fun to make.
Oh man,
and that was some of our breakfast cooks. The giant hash brown omelet was good. So yeah, good breakfasts.
Breakfasts in
I
general.
mean, people hear griddle, they think breakfast anyway.
Right.
So you might as well go big and go home like we do.
Absolutely, and we do love those big breakfasts. And I think we say this all the time, especially for people who are into griddle cooking. When you've heard of a griddle, we're not talking about those at the restaurants, but it's usually people camping. It's what they're cooking the breakfast on, and that's what it's most known for. But it's because it is so versatile and everything you can do. And breakfast is unreal. And we always say, if you get a griddle almost for nothing else, you got to do an eggs, and your breakfast cooks on there, bacon.
Exactly.
It's amazing. We've got a couple. We're going to do some honorable mentions, just some other things. Then we'll get into our last one, and then a bonus one that Brett feels is by far the most important. And he's not wrong on that. So stay tuned for that little message from Brett, and really he's not wrong on that. But you know, we've got so many other good cooks. We talked about our breakfasts, all our different tacos, but one thing is, Brett, just doing copycats, restaurant copycats on the griddle.
Yep, that is fun.
And even taking them to the next level, like when we did the Chick-fil-A Crunch Wrap.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
something was
that
a little
was
bit
so
different.
good.
That's so fun.
That was so
our
good.
other Crunch Wraps.
All the Taco Bells.
I think we've done more Taco Bell copycats than all the other kinds
I don't even have to try to think. I can promise you we've done more
Taco
Bell copycats.
And we've already discussed the upcoming year, other copycats that we would like to do. One that stood out to me probably the most, though, the Moons Over My Hammy, the Denny's copycat.
Yeah, that was
so
delicious.
good.
Very delicious.
All right, but you know, we could go on and really getting into that because there are so many there. But Brett, without further ado, number one, before we get to your bonus one, number one is
should be no surprise because it hasn't been mentioned yet. You're probably screaming at the screen, but yeah, you get it. Burgers, smash burgers
specifically. Smash burgers, because we've done them so many ways. In fact, we've had people say, "Oh, another smash burger video, guys." Yeah, another smash burger video. Because there's so many ways to do them. So much so that a Quarto group reached out to us and asked if we would do a whole cookbook dedicated to smash burgers and press sandwiches and things like that.
And so we did.
And so we did. And that last video that we did where we compared the thickness and thinness of them, that one sticks out to me still because I still can't decide which I like more. And people in the comments say, "Oh, this is why I like the thin one." I'm like, I agree with you. People are like, "Oh, I like the thicker one because of this." I agree with you too. They're all good. In fact, we're just cleaning up from another cook session where we did a melt that's forthcoming, and I gotta tell you, it was again spectacular.
So good.
The burgers are so good. They're unlike any other burgers you've ever made in the backyard.
Correct.
They're restaurant style.
Exactly right. So Smash Burgers has to wrap up and I don't know if any other thing can dethrone it.
Right.
For us, our top thing to cook on the griddle.
Except for
cooking with friends.
Brett's favorite thing is cooking with friends. And this year, we were so fortunate, almost more so this past year than in any years past, the amount of different people we were able to share our griddle with and cook with.
Exactly right. In the past, we've had Tautoven a couple of times. And that's a lot
always
of fun.
An honor.
But this year in particular, from Tommy at Gallery Backyard Barbecue, Sean,
my brother
from up north.
Sean, who came all the way from
Minnesota. He cooked with us, and then he showed us a cook that he likes to do, the Dominican Republic breakfast omelet, the DR omelet, and then we have Jason Benson from Benson Farms. Exactly right. He had to come down and just show us. I mean, just an absolute what a wonderful guy, wonderful family, wonderful farm. We're so honored to partner with him, and we got to cook with him too. And that tomahawk
Got to do
killer, man.
Right, got to do a lot of cooks with my family, with Sean, my brother-in-law, with Jared peeking in a little bit, and also share to cook with us. And then our family, my daughter Kenzie, we got to do one of my most favorite, most memorable cooks of all time, doing the Chicago dog cook with her. And then my sons, Griffin popping in, and Cannon popping in, and Parker
Cannon's
popping
friend.
in, and Cannon's friend Brock.
And Brock, he came, he showed us one too.
So many great ones. We had to switch locations, realizing a lot of that glare was coming in, so I'm not sure how much of that we got. But yeah, in years past, Brett even let Chris Duke and some other friends. And so Brett pointing out that sharing the griddle with friends is really,
friends and family.
is really what it's all about. Yeah, Sherry for all the time she did, and Ella who came and helped us out.
Exactly.
So many greats that came and did it. But we love getting to do these types of videos where all we're really doing is just sharing, kind of walking down memory lane, but also things that we think will up your griddle game.
Right, exactly.
And as we always say, reach out to us if you ever have questions. You can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Instagram, and just right here in the comments. We're always willing to listen, and we try to share, and we try to get back. This year was a little bit worse than others.
Yeah, it was
this year
tough.
got a little bit tough.
Exactly.
Burnout is real, and this was the toughest year for that, if we're being honest. But happy to be back at it and get back on the horse.
And sticking
keep
with
going,
it. That was the biggest thing, man, working through the grind. It was well worth it because we get to come hang with you.
Man, we love that we do get to come and do this. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. It's one way in which you can support us in what we do. Another way you can support us is by purchasing one of our 2 cookbooks, the Epic Outdoor Griddle Cookbook or Smashed. Both are available on Amazon or anywhere books are sold. I get Brett off. I try to line up Smashed every time there, so he can't quite match up with me, but man, love that we get to come and do this.
Me too.
Aside from coming and just sharing some of our favorite memories and our best cooks that other people should be doing, and our love for griddle cooking. Why else do we do all this?
Because all we do is twin, no matter what.
And with that, we bid you adieu.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
And griddle on.